benefits of the Samatha practice, there are many. The first is that the practice really helps us develop both concentration and serenity. So as a daily practice, it's a great practice to do when things are chaotic and stressful, and people often forget that it is actually a serenity practice. The word samatha means both concentration and serenity. And so if we're finding a stressful period of time in our lives, it can be a really good period to undertake this practice because it's very simple and we're basically coming back to the breath, and the breath itself is soothing. So it can bring a lot of peace and ease into our life as a daily practice. And then the concentration aspect of the practice, all of us have a faculty of concentration in our awareness, but we may not exercise it very much. And the research shows that nowadays people are exercising it even less, and they're actually conditioning it, their nervous systems and their brains in the opposite direction. So this practice can really bring us the capacity to concentrate by coming back to this one object of awareness over and over. It really strengthens that muscle. And it is just like a muscle in our body that, you know, if you never exercise this muscle, it's not going to be as strong as if you get some weights out and start lifting. So these are two of the practical benefits to the practice. And then there are two more advanced, more spiritual benefits to the practice. The first is called Purification of Mind. So what happens as we try to do the practice, especially in a deeper way, like on retreat and you know, if we're sitting longer, we find that at some point thoughts will take us off. And really what we're seeing when that happens is grooves in the consciousness that are there all the time, that we're awake, and even when we're asleep, these grooves are there, but we normally aren't aware of them. And the Samatha practice is really designed for us to see our grooves in our consciousness, in Buddhism known as the hindrances and defilements, really clearly. We're going to see them sooner. And it helps us see these patterns, and it deconditions the compulsive tendency to go towards these thought patterns. So it really helps to purify the mind stream in such a way that we can have the potential to directly experience our deeper nature. And then the fourth benefit is what Steve and I call the thinning of the me. And so really what's happening when we're doing meditation practice is either we're reducing our compulsive personality material, which I just talked about as purification of mind, or so that's transformation, or we're experiencing the transcendent as it starts to be able to shine through into our awareness. And one of those two things is happening whenever you're meditating. And so the thinning of the me is where over time doing this practice, this doesn't just happen right away, but over a lot of dedicated practice, that sense of those, our identification with those personality patterns starts getting less and less. And that we call the thinning of the me, where we can start having more access to our deeper nature and start even potentially living from that more, and having some of these patterns be even inactive. And that is a real gift, and it's really what the Buddha talked about when he talked about the freedom from suffering. The potential is there in this practice to really thin the me so that we aren't compulsively driven by our personality patterns.